What's up, y'all? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm your host, Robert Durden, and this episode is the Political Power Rankings episode. It's been a few weeks, and I told you guys I was going to kind of leave a little bit of time in between Power Rankings episodes to let the rankings shift a little bit, let some people get hot, do some really great content, let some people cool off, and let things shift a little bit. And for the sake of not doing the same, 15 people that I shift in and out of the top 10. We're just going to do the top 5 today, and it's just going to be the new guard. And what I mean by that, guys, is I'm excluding all of the people that are juggernauts on YouTube. I'm not going to include Kalinsky or Jimmy Dore or, the Humanist Report or anybody else that I would normally maybe put in there. Kyle Kalinsky and Jimmy Dore are always ranked super high with me. Not so much for the Humanist Report, but he still does pretty good work too, Mike Figueredo. But for the sake of giving shout-outs to the new breed, like me, I'm going to do the top 5 youngsters. So this is people that have just broken in, and this is pretty cool, guys. I don't know if you guys have seen, but there has been an absolute slew of new YouTube channels really since the Biden campaign began, but particularly since the election. And some of these people are doing fantastic work, and it's really important that we have more of these crop up, and that's why I recommend you guys do your own fight club, like I'm doing right now, because if they ever get to the point where they're censoring the fuck out of Jimmy Dore or Kyle Kalinsky, or all the people that we really count on to get us our news, and they really screw them in the algorithm, there needs to be hundreds, if not thousands, more of us doing that same information in our own style, and that way we'll be uncensorable on the left. So I want to call out some people. They're doing great work here. And I've mentioned a couple of these guys on the show before. We're going to start with number 5, and that is Bree Joy and the Bad Faith Podcast. They do great work over there. Brianna Joy Gray is one of the most affluent and best debaters out there right now because she does a great job not only making her points, but she also does it in a very non-threatening way that is accessible to everybody. So she's an absolute weaponized brain on the left, and we need to continue to promote her and Virgil on the Bad Faith Podcast. The only reason I don't have them a little higher is because they don't come out quite with as much content as some of these other people. So number 4, mentioned this guy before as well. This is Jackson Hinkle in the Dive. He does a lot of live work at night. So I tune into a lot of his shows, and he does great interviews. And what you'll notice, guys, all of these people are tremendously genuine, and that's why I like them, because they spit fire, but you can tell that they're not running interference for anybody. They're not taking a bunch of money that makes them change their narrative. Like, if you ever watched the Young Turks lately, they're so fucking phony. But then you watch somebody like Jackson Hinkle or Bree or these next 3 people, you can tell that they believe in what they're saying, which is why I want them to get more notoriety, why I want more people to do the stuff that they're doing. So Jackson does a great job on everything, and he's been reporting very well on, foreign relations, which is something I don't do as much and I'm trying to get better at, but highly recommend to follow on Twitter, highly recommend you subscribe to his show. Number 3 is Good Politic Guy. You can follow him on Twitter. He's Mac, and my dude he does very similar stuff to me, where he doesn't do a lot of live stuff. I don't think he does any. And not a lot of interviews. He just kind of covers the news and gives you his spin and breaks it down in a way that people can understand. And he's, again, another weaponized brain that you're not going to get anything past him. And he calls out all the bullshit as it's happening. Not just in, Israel-Palestine over the last couple of days, but before that, calling out the bullshit that the Democrats are doing and why they're sandbagging everything. He breaks everything down in a way that everybody can understand. And he's right on point with that stuff. And he's also very quick. He's as quick as me. He gets episodes out on current events within a day if he catches them. It doesn't take him 3 or 4 days to get it out. That's the other thing he does extremely well. So Good Politic Guy on YouTube. Number 2, The Vanguard. Zach and Gavin, they do excellent work, and they do a lot of live stuff and interviews, including, some absolute juggernauts lately they've had on the show, including Noam Chomsky. Word on the street is they're trying to get Kyle Kalinsky on there. We'll see if that ever happens. But they've had Richard Wolff on recently. It's dude, you can't possibly do better interviews than this. And they really, again, they spitball, they riff, they do great work, and again, they're super honest. You can tell they're not bullshitting you. And they also do a book club where they kind of read political books and break it down for you as well, which is something unique that not a lot of other channels do. I break down books for you, but it's because I read horror and I write horror on the side. It has nothing to do with politics. So The Vanguard with Zach and Gavin, number 2. strong showing for them over the last couple of weeks, especially. And number one is Justin Jackson, and he's again very similar to me and Good Politic Guy in that he really just sniffs out bullshit and calls it out like in real time. But he also does live stuff, live interviews, which is something that I don't do. And he's better than anybody, I think, of this new guard I've seen at breaking down bills, finding things that are fishy in bills, and calling out bullshit that would normally slip by everybody else. So he's very, very vigilant in, like, you know, reading through bills and telling you what's good and what's bad and where the language seems weird, and he does not let anything go. He was extremely outspoken on the parliamentarian shooting down $15 minimum wage, which he should have, because he understands how politics works, and he doesn't let anything go like that. So there's nowhere to go but up for him. I mean, he's number one on my rankings, but I mean, he should absolutely have tons of subscribers because he's as good as it gets, and he just started. I think he's got like 11,000 followers, maybe a little more than that. But I watch almost everything he puts out, so I worry that he'll spend too much time working on football and not enough time doing this, because straight up, my man could probably run for office, if not the presidency one day, if he keeps it up. So my top 5 goes Bad Faith Podcast, Jackson Hinkle in the Dive, Good Politic Guy and Mac at Twitter, The Vanguard, and Justin Jackson at number 1. And it was these 5 pretty easily for me. The last couple of weeks they've been doing great work, and I watch almost everything they put out. So shout out to y'all. Keep shouting out to each other, and let's let this new guard not go the way of TYT or even, Benjamin Dixon, Nomiki Konst, Sam Cedar. No more selling out. We're too angry. We're going to keep telling you what we think, and we're not going to stop. And these are people I trust to not sell out. I guarantee you almost. So keep fighting the good fight out there, guys. We'll talk to you later.